A web glints like spun gold across your porch at dawn, and staring back from its center is a plump, boldly striped spider you've never seen before. Meet the Joro spider, a charismatic, fast-spreading orb weaver that has gone from being a little-known East Asian native to one of the most talked-about arachnids in parts of the southeastern United States. Strange-looking, industrious, and full of surprising biology, the Joro is a species worth knowing, whether you love spiders, fear them, or fall somewhere in between. Who is the Joro spider? The Joro spider's scientific name is Trichonophila clavata. It used to be classified under Nephila. It's a member of the orb weaver family, famous for building large, wheel-shaped webs. Native to East Asia, especially Japan, Korea, China, and Taiwan, the Joro has distinctive coloring. Adult females often display bright yellow and black bands on the abdomen with red or orange markings near the rear, while males are much smaller and less showy. One striking trait is the silk. Their webs often have a golden sheen, especially at certain angles, earned by their close relatives' nickname, golden orb weavers. Size, appearance, and sexual dimorphism. Joro spiders show pronounced sexual dimorphism. Adult females are large, sometimes reaching up to 20-25 mm body length, with legs that create an impressively broad stance. Males, by contrast, are tiny, often a fraction of the female's size, and tend to wander in search of mates rather than sit in the center of webs. The colorful patterning on females makes them easy to identify once you know what to look for. Yellow and black stripes, a rounded abdomen, and a slightly elongated cephalothorax, the front part of the body. Juveniles can be pale and less patterned, which may confuse casual observers. Where they live and how they spread. In their native range, Joro spiders inhabit gardens, forest edges, and the eaves of buildings. Since around 2013, established populations were confirmed in the southeastern United States, first detections documented in Georgia, and they have expanded outward through natural dispersal and human-assisted movement. The Joro's spread in the U.S. is facilitated by a behavior called ballooning. Young spiders release silk threads that catch the wind and carry them great distances, sometimes across roads and between neighborhoods. Their preference for suburban landscapes with trees, gutters, and outdoor lights makes human-dominated habitats ideal stepping stones for expansion. Web architecture and hunting behavior. Joro spiders build large orb webs, often horizontally or at a slight angle, with a strong, sticky capture spiral. Webs are commonly placed between tree branches, shrubs, porch rails, or even between utility poles. These webs can be remarkably efficient. The Joro's sticky silk grabs flying insects such as mosquitoes, flies, moths, and even small beetles. They are mostly sit-and-wait predators. Females sit at the web's hub and quickly rush to subdue prey that becomes entangled. A neat behavioral quirk. The Joro sometimes constructs a stabilimentum, a thicker zigzag band of silk in the web's center. The function of this structure is debated among scientists. Hypotheses include making the web more visible to prevent birds from flying through it, attracting prey by reflecting ultraviolet light, or strengthening the web. Whatever its function, it adds to their distinctive web appearance. Life cycle and seasonal behavior. Joro spiders usually follow a seasonal life cycle. Females lay egg sacs in late summer or fall, often attaching them to the undersides of leaves or tucked in crevices to protect overwintering eggs. In temperate areas, juveniles hatch in spring and spend the summer maturing. Adult females can persist into the fall, building webs and reproducing, while males typically die off sooner after mating. In climates where winters are mild, multiple cohorts and longer activity periods are possible, which can aid rapid population growth. Are Joro spiders dangerous to humans? Short answer: no, not really. Joro spiders are not considered dangerous to people. Their venom is effective on the insects they catch, but it's not potent enough to cause serious harm to healthy humans. Bites are rare because these spiders are not aggressive toward people. They mostly flee or sit still when disturbed. On the uncommon occasion a bite occurs, symptoms are typically mild: localized pain, redness, or swelling similar to a bee sting. Of course, people with severe allergies should always seek medical advice if bitten. Ecological impacts: good, bad, or mixed. Joro spiders can be beneficial predators in their ecosystems by reducing populations of nuisance insects like mosquitoes and flies. For homeowners who dislike chemical sprays, having a Joro web in the garden can be an organic way to cut insect numbers. However, because they are non-native in places like the southeastern U.S., ecologists keep a close eye on potential ecological effects. Any introduced predator can shift local food webs by competing with native spiders for prey or by preying on insects that native species depend on. So far, evidence of major negative impacts is limited, but long-term studies are ongoing. In many urban and suburban areas, the Joro seems to have integrated without catastrophic disruption. But scientists caution that the full ecological consequences may take decades to unfold. Cultural significance and human reactions. In Japan, the Joro, Jorogumo, appears in folklore and art. The term Jorogumo can translate to prostitute spider or binding bride, and in classical Japanese tales, a supernatural spider spirit sometimes takes on the form of a woman to deceive humans. These stories, while rooted in older cultural contexts, have shaped how people view the species, both feared and revered. In modern times, many people appreciate the spider's beauty and its diminishment of insect pests, while others are simply unsettled by their large visible webs. How to live with Joro spiders. Practical tips. If you find Joro webs around your porch or garden and prefer fewer webs without resorting to harming spiders, here are practical, low-effort steps. Relocate webs gently. Use a broom to remove a web in the early morning. The spider often rebuilds elsewhere. Avoid crushing the female if possible. Light management. Outdoor lights attract flying insects that draw spiders. Using fewer lights or shielded fixtures reduces prey and can discourage web building near doors. Trim vegetation. Clearing dense branches and shrubs within a few feet of doors can reduce favored web sites. Clean gutters and eaves. Removing debris lowers attractive shelter spots for spiders. Use deterrents sparingly. Some homeowners report success with natural repellents, for example, diluted vinegar sprays, but these are temporary and must be reapplied. Most experts recommend coexistence where feasible. Joro spiders are effective natural pest controllers and generally harmless to people and pets. Research frontiers and citizen science. Because the Joro has recently expanded its range, scientists are actively studying its distribution, life history, and ecological effects. Citizen science platforms and local extension services often request public reports to map the spider spread. These observations are valuable for researchers tracking introductions and predicting range expansion. If you're curious, taking photos and submitting sightings with location data to an appropriate regional database helps science and fosters community knowledge. The Joro spider is a fascinating mix of striking beauty, ecological utility, and cultural intrigue. Whether encountered as a shimmering thread across a garden path or as a subject of folklore, this spider invites curiosity rather than fear. Its rapid spread into new regions is a reminder of how interconnected our world is, and how small creatures can become unexpected ambassadors of ecological change. Next time you see a golden web catching the light, pause a moment. You're observing an ancient engineering marvel spun by a tiny, persistent survivor with a lot to teach us about webs, both literal and metaphorical, that connect life across continents. If you found this video informative, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more content. Thank you.